coming along to my channel. It is always a pleasure to have you here. If this is the first time you are joining me, I'm so grateful to have you. I will highly please encourage you to go ahead and click the subscription to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that anytime I release new content, you'll be the first person to receive that. Because I'm always here to make sure that you receive the best. I mean, the best out of the best. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for always trusting, for always coming back, always, visiting my channel, sharing, commenting, liking. I love it. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate those that were reaching out, collaborating with me. For the purpose of, emphasis, I've been saying that often and on here. If you are a Scrum Master, Project Manager, new to Scrum, right? Whatever your situation you are, but you just want to someone to mentor you or work with you or coach you, it is totally free, right? So what I do is totally free. Just reach out for a mentorship program. But if you're looking to be trained to become a Scrum Master, Project Manager, all you need to do is to reach out and let's have that conversation. All right. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys, this is something very practical, very realistic. Whether you have already been working as a Scrum Master or you have been engaged in a meeting, you could have observed this. It's just very practical. What is that? Crosstalk. You might be wondering, what is crosstalk? Don't look your dictionary yet. Don't ask Google yet, okay? So you might be wondering, oh, let me just check and see what it's all about. Don't do that yet. I'm going to walk you through. So just still be curious. You already know what that means. That's fine. So what I'm going to share with you guys is to kind of realistically walk you through what crosstalk could mean in the context of a Scrum meeting, okay? And then why does it happen and preventive measure? Not just giving you some sort of theoretical knowledge, but also giving you some sort of background. So I'm also going to play a little bit a clip of a Scrum team that were doing their daily Scrum, and you could see how they kind of engage in crosstalk. Okay, so just sit tight and let me walk you through. Again, I'm going to share my screen and then we can get started. Just give me 1 second here. I'm just going to bring up my screen and then we'll get rolling. All right, here you go. Okay, so what is crosstalk? Let's start with the first thing, right? What is crosstalk? So today I'm going to share with you what it is, why it happens, and how to prevent it, like I said. Before we proceed, I will be able to play a little bit a clip, right, where a team kind of demonstrate this idea of crosstalk. You must have seen this, but perhaps you don't know the technical name, right? It's kind of really frustrating when you're a Scrum Master and this happens. You're not sure what to do. So why does it happen? What would you do to prevent it moving forward? Sit tight and let me play that clip first, and then we'll jump in right away. I hope that the clip will be very audible for you, but let's see what happens. Okay. So what do you think actually happened there? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Did you see how the meeting was kind of very, there was some sort of confusion there? First of all, can you just imagine the guy with whatever, laying down, almost laying on the floor? You could see the scrum master kind of rambling about, not sure what to do. You could see the guy, making call while someone is talking. You can see the other guy making an update, and then you could see the client right there presenting, kind of expressing her concern. You could see the ladies by the side, kind of chatting about, and you could see the guy that just walked in and then talking. So all of these things are happening at the same time. One person is being interrupted, and those kind of things happen at the same time. Now, can you picture in your mind something similar or even the same happening when you are facilitating a meeting? Not just when you are facilitating a meeting, but also when you are in a Scrum meeting. It might not just be a Scrum alone, but also meetings in general. Now, kind of keep prepping yourself what I mean by crosstalk. Now, let's jump into exactly what I mean by crosstalk. Now, crosstalk basically, those side conversations, interactions that happen, people interrupting each other, right? Someone hasn't really finished up the sentence, the other person kind of jumps in. And then when that happens, it creates some sort of confusion, right? People are not yet, finished up with what they have in mind to say, right? It can happen in both in person and individual meetings. Now, this is very, very, very realistic. Myself as a Scrum Master, right? It does happen. But as far as I have been able to figure out why it does happen and preventive measures to keep in place, it never happens anymore. So why I'm sharing with you guys today, for a number of Scrum Masters that are out there, even yourself listening to me, perhaps, right, you have not engaged your team members, your developers, your QAs, your stakeholders, especially when you are talking with executives or clients, and maybe people are kind of jumbling around, sentences or conversations. Things are not yet very organized, convoluted conversation, right? So what would you do? And when you experience crosstalk, it has a lot of effects. The one is causing some sort of distraction. As you saw from the clip I just played a few seconds ago, you saw that the Scrum Master was really, really distracted. She was kind of not sure who to listen to, what to do. She was kind of doing a lot of things, context switching, multitasking, but not meaningful thing actually. It creates some sort of confusion, disrespect. For me, I do feel when someone interrupts me when I'm talking, I kind of feel like the person doesn't value what I'm saying. So I try as much as I can to be quiet when someone is talking to me. Lots of important information. When people are distracted, when people are, interrupted, they might not wrap their head around what next to say. Have you ever tried to say something and then that skips your mind? You lose it or you lost it. Now, if you're a Scrum Master and maybe you're a potential Scrum Master or a project manager, and this happens, why do you think it happens? Okay. Now we have seen a scenario, played the clip, given a sense of what crosstalk could mean or means. Why do you think that happens? Now, keeping in mind or knowing what you know now, listening or having listened to the clip, why do you think that the team experienced that kind of environment or scenario? Now, there are a number of reasons why crosstalk happens. Now, one of them is not having a clear agenda or structure. Not having a clear agenda or structure. Why would Scrum Master or anybody go into meeting without an agenda? Now, how would you know a meeting that has no agenda? Potentially, when any meeting invite is being sent out without some sort of idea of what you should expect, believe me, most of the times when you go in for that meeting, you might struggle on what the meeting is all about, what you are expected to do. So what I have come to do in my experience is whenever I'm sending out invites or pulling people into the meeting, I kind of give them a sense of what the meeting is all about. It could be just a sentence, a paragraph, whatever it is. It could be an image or whatever I could use to kind of give people an idea of what they should expect, right? Because you're not sure what the other person might be doing or wrapping up, so that they can come prepared. Inadequate facilitation. Not everybody knows how to facilitate. Facilitation is not just to schedule a meeting and tell people, welcome, today we're going to do X, Y, Z, and X, Y, Z. No, that's not about facilitation. In fact, if you go to the internet and type Introduction to Facilitation PDF, you're going to see tons and tons of material on how to facilitate a meeting. So I do believe that one of the primary reasons why crosstalk do happen is because there is inadequate facilitation skill there. Poor meeting discipline, right? People don't discipline themselves of when to speak, right? The other is about lack of understanding about the Scrum principles. Lack of understanding about the Scrum principles. The other one is about the team size. The larger the team size, the more it is for people to crosstalk. Visual meeting challenges. Obviously, we do have some technical glitches in and out there, depending on the tools you're using. But be that as it may, there are other ways to navigate that challenge. The other one is about personal agenda. People come to meetings with their own personal agenda, and they want to make sure that those agendas are taken care of before others. So they're always pushing theirs forward. The last but not the least, I do believe, is because of complex or interdependent work. When you have some sort of dependencies, right? So that idea of coordinating that dependency could be able to contribute towards that crosstalk. Now, the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is in terms of preventive measures. How would you prevent crosstalk happening? Okay. Now, the first thing to do is, whenever you are setting up a meeting, sending out a meeting invite, try as much as you can to give people a heads up, right? It could be about a sentence about what that meeting is all about, and then maybe give an idea if they should be able to prepare something. Now, when you are in the meeting, set an agenda, let people know that there is a structure, and then make sure that you follow that structure. When people are trying to defer or veer off from that agenda, draw their attention, right? The second thing to do is to have an effective facilitation skill. Now, my recommendation would be to be able to go to, read any material you might have, or you might think might be very helpful. If you're not sure what to read, just send me a comment in the comment section, and then I can be able to provide you some sort of material for facilitation. The other thing is to educate your team on the Scrum principles. Give people the idea about the purpose of each of the meetings. Now, it is unfortunate that most people go into meetings not knowing why they are in the meetings. For example, the purpose of the daily Scrum. We understand that the daily Scrum is not a status update. It is never. It is just a meeting that the Scrum team would use to inspect and adapt. Inspect on the sprint goal and adapt if there is any sort of change. Backlog refinements, just to groom those stories that are yet to go into the next sprint. Okay, so every Scrum meeting, Scrum ceremonies, and activities do have a purpose. When I am training my students, I ask them, what is the difference between a meeting and an event, especially in the Scrum context? The primary distinguishing fact between a Scrum event and a meeting is that Scrum event is a meeting with a purpose. So whatever event that we are going into has a purpose. Now, the other mechanism to put in place is to use what is called a speaking token. Now, if you are a Scrum Master and you are facilitating your meeting in a physical building, in an office setting, now people should be able to speak up when they have what is called maybe a marker, or maybe they have any sort of tool that they could use to make a point. If you don't have that tool, then don't speak. So it is one way for you to make sure that everybody has a say in the meeting. But if you are also doing that in a physical space, find out some sort of mechanism to make sure that whoever has maybe button, whoever is not, everybody might be muted, whoever wants to speak can unmute. Now, the other one is meeting discipline. Okay. For me, I always ask my team members or whoever I'm pulling to the meeting, give them an expectation and what is called like housekeeping rules. So housekeeping rules could be like, if you want to talk, please, by all means, raise your hand or put that in the comment section and I can be able to capture that. Those tiny, tiny little things could be a way to discipline people. The other one is team size. If you are going to a meeting and you think that people are larger in size, split that team members into maybe 2 or 3, and then you can have that conversation on that different groups level so that you can manage that environment. The other one is visual meeting etiquette. The use of features like raising hand or using like celebration or emojis or whatever. There are different features that people could use on all of these tools in order to make sure that everybody stays in alignment. Now, the parking lot method. Parking lot simply means there are times when people start talking more detail than expected in a meeting. For example, in the daily Scrum, when a developer starts going to detail about some sort of on the story that he or she is working on, I can ask the developer, please, is this something we can talk about in the parking lot, where whoever doesn't want to stay on the call can drop, so that people will feel like you are saving them time and bringing value. The last but not the least would be use of visual aids and tools. Whenever I go into meetings and I feel like we need to keep track, I kind of share my screen, and in sharing that screen, I can pull up maybe a board or a note. In that note, I kind of try to capture some key information that people are being raising. Now, towards the end, I can be able to ask them if there is anything on the screen in front of them that we haven't covered in such a way they feel like I have captured everything. How does that sound like? Sound like something you could try? Yeah, right? So that is about crosstalk, really about crosstalk. Now, I ask you, have you been able to experience crosstalk when you are schedule a meeting and your team members are kind of interrupting each other, distracted by phone call, people meet people? There are a lot of different ways people kind of project this crosstalk. If you have, why do you think it happened? And what did you do to kind of keep that to a bare minimum? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, thank you so much. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, believe me, you have come to the right spot. All you need to do is to make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell. There are all other YouTube channels out there about Scrum. They are all wonderful. As much as I'm concerned, there are a lot of things that haven't been said that are on a daily basis about Scrum and Agile. If you don't want to miss any of those, please stay in tune, stay connected by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. And if you're looking forward to be mentored or coached or to be trained, just reach out. You can see those links up there. Connect with me on my Facebook, Instagram, or shoot me an email, and then we can be able to have a conversation. Thank you so much for spending these almost 20 minutes, 19 minutes and some seconds with me. I do really appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you again next time. But in the meantime, stay well. Bye for now.